Welcome back, collectors and treasure hunters. Today we are diving into one of the most fought-over coins in the auction world, the top 3 Lincoln Wheat penny. This is not just another old cent. This is a battlefield coin that stops bidding rooms cold, a dirty survivor of time that still commands thousands of dollars when the right example appears. If you want to understand why this tiny piece of copper makes grown collectors compete like warriors, stay right here. What you're about to hear might change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's get started. First up in the 1955, D. Lincoln Wheat penny with the bold D mint mark sits in the spotlight of the numismatic world like a treasure contestant's fight for inside an auction hall. Even when found in the most dirty and most old and heavily handled state, this coin ignites an almost electric tension among collectors because of its age, design heritage, scarcity in high condition, and its direct lineage to mid-century America. It is not merely handled, it is pursued, competed for, and battled over, especially when an example surfaces with powerful visual integrity or rare variety. This coin is the kind of piece that stops whispers in the room because it is understood to be more than copper. It is a ticket to history. Struck in 1955 at the Denver Mint, this wheat cent belongs to the final decade of the Lincoln Wheatback series that linked millions of Americans to wartime and post-war economic change. While not a commemorative issue, the coin is indirectly tied to the era in which the United States was transforming socially, militarily, and financially. Each 1955 D-cent gives tangible anchorage to the Cold War timeline, the Eisenhower presidency, and booming industrial America. This is why collectors do not see it as raw metal. They see it as a preserved passport to an era that will never repeat. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's familiar and serious portrait dominates the surface, engraved by Victor David Brenner, whose design has outlived wars, presidents, and entire cultural shifts. On the reverse, the dual wheat stalks curve like laurel branches around 1 cent, an agricultural salute to national strength by cultivation. Even after decades of circulation grime, scratches, oxidation, and neglect, the classic American symbolism radiates. In higher-graded examples, the sharpness of Lincoln's coat, hair curls, and the clean D mint mark transform the coin's face into a miniature monument. The greatest drama around the 1955 D wheat penny is not its total mintage, but its scarcity in pristine, fully original, sharply struck state. Millions were minted, but only a microscopic fraction survived without deep pocket wear, discoloration, abrasions, and handling damage. Auction fever is sparked precisely because the public generally discovers this coin in most dirty, most old, most circulated shape, while elite investors crave uncompromised, uncleaned, professionally graded survivors. That gulf between supply and elite-grade demand is what forces heated bidding. In today's active coin market, bright and sharply defined 1955 D wheat cents, especially those graded at the high end or carrying a notable die variety, can command $1,000 to $8,000 depending on its condition, variety strength, and cachet among bidders. That range is not fiction, but documented behavior in auctions and private sales where emotionally charged collectors leap beyond logic. When this coin appears in a certified high state or with doubling of lettering, the price trend bends upward because the competition is fierce and deliberate. The word powerful is not poetic exaggeration. It is a reflection of how a 1955 D. Lincoln Wheat penny can dominate an entire catalog session when an exemplary specimen crosses the block. Phones lift. Paddles stop trembling. Bids do not rise in tens, they leap in hundreds. Dealers who enter to buy something else abandon their prior targets to chase this piece when its surfaces and story align. Even a coin with crusty surfaces and century-like age can pull spectators into the tension because they understand the lineage they are witnessing. Serious collectors do not approach the 1955 D wheat cent casually. They study grading reports, doubled die varieties, reputation of consignor, and auction house honesty. They examine mint mark placement, strike depth, and fields for signs of alteration or cleaning. They buy only from certified slabs or proven sources. They store their pieces in inert holders and cease all finger contact. They treat knowledge as a weapon in the bidding battles. The reason condition drives prices into the thousands is that original luster, undisturbed surfaces, and visible design separation act like gasoline on bidding psychology. When a coin that should statistically be rubbed to anonymity instead stands crisp like arrested time, collectors feel rare opportunity collapsing toward them. That psychological compression is the exact fuel that transforms copper into capital. The 1955 D-Wheat penny rises because of foundational forces: finite high-grade survivors, permanent American historical relevance, and the expanding population of educated collectors. Decade over decade, not month to month, its value arc leans upward in a slow, confident, sober curve. Investors and hobbyists both treat it as a secure anchor, not a gamble. The 1955 D. Lincoln Wheat penny is not simply a relic. It is a copper negotiator that forces respect under the auction lights. It fuses American history, numismatic legacy, scarcity, and visual gravitas into one object that compels competition. Whether found in wretched, most dirty condition or preserved with hypnotic precision, it continues to captivate enthusiasts and justify its reputation as a prized treasure with long-term momentum and global collector appeal.